Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf and Merry Christmas. Thought today would be a fun day, even though it's not technically the end of the year, to break down my year of travel and disc golf and give you my top 10 courses, my favorite course in every single state that I played. Because if you're not aware of my journey, my name is Anthony. I'm trying to get onto the Disc Golf Pro Tour and cash at a Pro Tour event. I just got into disc golf this year in January, and I think my first round ever was January 18th, but I've lived and traveled full-time in a van. We're house sitting for some of our friends, so that's why we're here. But in the course of this year, I have played 153 courses across 22 different states. So I just want to screen record my phone and we can just walk through my whole travels. But if you're in that area, you'll be able to see if I played your home course or not. And I played a lot of home courses, I'm sure. You can see this is my profile, 281 rounds played, 12,000 throws, and I just like stopped recording all my stuff on UDisc like 4 months ago, and I have not stopped playing. So right now you can see that we are in Florida, South Orlando, but right where it all started was here in Austin, Texas. And there's only one course that I played in Austin, Texas. The best course in my opinion in Texas, or my favorite course so far, because I haven't played a lot. There's a lot of courses in Texas. Don't hate me already. But it's Zilker Park in Austin. Not a hard course, very easy. At my rounds, I shot +6 and +2. Those are the only rounds that I did not get under par at that course, but it's the first course that I ever played disc golf at, because living in a van back January 18th was when we got there, and we parked there just to spend the night, and it was a disc golf course, and my buddy had just given me some discs in Kansas City, but Zilker Park was the first course that I ever played disc golf at, and so it's always gonna have a special place in my heart. I hope I can go back to it sometime this year and play it again, because I'm sure, +6 being my best round, I'm pretty sure I can beat that now. So from Austin in our van, we made our way south, and I played 2 courses in San Antonio. Then we drove across Texas, because we were gonna be going to Big Bend National Park all the way down here. And we stopped on the way there in this city just to work, Fort Stockton, for a couple days, and there was just a disc golf course there, James Rooney Memorial. It was pretty nice actually, surprisingly, just for being literally in the middle of nowhere in Texas. And then after Big Bend, we made our way up to El Paso, and I played a couple courses here, and this is actually right after I bought my first starter set. So the Nations Tobin course was the first course I played with that. I was pretty stoked on it. But after that, we decided to go through a couple national parks. So we went up through Carlsbad Cavern as well as Guadalupe Mountain National Park. And there was actually a course in Carlsbad, New Mexico, that I lost my favorite disc on. It was a Roadrunner that I threw into the water, and it was like February, so I didn't go and get it. So that was sad. And so now we're in our second state, New Mexico. And then my favorite course in New Mexico is Sunrise Terrace, which is in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I played there, and the reason that's my favorite is because that's the first time I really experienced the disc golf community, where I like played with a group of people, and I played maybe a couple rounds with them. This course only has 4 baskets on it, and you play to them like a bunch of different times from a bunch of different tee pads. Not the best course in the world, but if I'm back in that area, I definitely want to play it again, because that's like one of the first places that I experienced the awesome community that is disc golf. And so moving on from Las Cruces, we went straight across to Tucson, and there are a lot of good courses that in Arizona. I played 4 courses that were in Tucson. Really solid there, definitely want to go back to that scene. Played these courses in Phoenix, and I think my favorite course in Arizona, it's kind of tied between 2. One of them is Vista del Camino, because I came the week after the Memorial, so I was able to play the Memorial layout. We don't need to look at it. Where was it? Yep, XL Pro Men's. I shot +15, and my best disc was +8. I'm sure if I go back there, I will shoot much better. But this is like maybe a month into playing disc golf. No, it's just under 2 months into playing disc golf, and I shot a +15 at the pro layout, but I was like, this is crazy that I can at least play their layout. And then we went up, and there's a beautiful little 9-hole course in Sedona. If you're ever in that area, you have to go play that. It is gorgeous. And then my second course that was tied between was one of the ones that I played in Flagstaff, right here, Thorpe Park. This is one of the first courses that I was like, the scenery is wild. Like there's just massive trees that you're throwing through. It's got like a lot of elevation change. And so this is one of the first big elevation courses that I played in. So that one has a special place in my heart as well, because it's 27 holes and I just got to play all day long. You know, I should have been working, but I was just playing disc golf. I'm sure that none of you can sympathize with that. After Flagstaff, we went up to the Grand Canyon. Then we went up to Page. It was actually a pretty nice little 9-hole course. Not like the best course in the world, but it's fun to play. I played it a couple times. And then we went to my first tournament. This isn't actually my favorite course in Utah, and it's not even maybe the most significant course to me, but my first tournament ever was in Kanab, Utah right here. Kanab Disc Golf Course, run by Mook. He's a infinite dealer, I believe, in St. George. Really solid guy. If you're ever in St. George, I'm not sponsored by any of them, but I really like him. I like the way he runs tournaments. That course over in Kanab is super watery and windy. 20-mile-an-hour winds. My first tournament shot like 888 rated or something like that. I got my 900 rated round though, which I was happy about. That's all I wanted for my first tournament playing at intermediate. Right after that, we just did Angels Landing, and then we went over to St. George, and I played a couple courses in that area. And then I was like, it's only an hour away, Chris. Like, can I please go play it? And I played a course in Cedar City, Thunderbird Gardens. I played a tournament here. First round is the worst round that I've ever shot. And up at that point, the second round was the best round I'd ever shot. And it was like my second tournament, I believe. My first round was 778 rated. I shot like plus 11. In my second round, I was one of the only people who was under par because I just decided to play safe golf because there's 25-mile-an-hour winds throwing like off and onto cliff sides. And I shot a 992 rated round in my second tournament. So I was like, okay, this is a little bit better. And then we went back down through St. George and on to Las Vegas. And in Vegas here, I played all these courses. I played probably the most up here at Mountain Crest. I did not even put on UDisc how many times I played that because it was way more than 2 times. But my favorite course I think has to be Wild Horse because that is played at Las Vegas Challenge. And I was like, oh, this will be fun. I played with one of my buddies, James. He's from Arizona. We played some tournaments together and we did not play well. I shot plus 11. So it was just cool to see a Pro Tour course that I was able to just go and play. So played there, and then after Las Vegas, went back up through Utah, southern Utah, into Zion National Park. But then we went up to Moab and spent a little bit of time in Moab, and it has my most played course, according to UDisc, I don't think it's actually my most played, but my most played course of the year, which is Old City Park. Now, this isn't my favorite course in Moab or in Utah. That's the other one that we're gonna talk about, but this is cool because it's the first course that I ever filmed a video at. Hey, my name is Anthony. Welcome to my van. And that's the first video on my channel. So if you've watched that video, if you haven't, go check it out. Scroll all the way down to my content, but the Old City Park right here has a special place in my heart because I really like that course. Like, it's just a fun layout. But the course that everybody told me throughout my time in Arizona, Las Vegas, the other parts of Utah, they told me, hey, you have to go play base camp. And so I did. What they didn't tell me is that if I live in a van and travel in a van, I should not be driving it down the road to get there. And it was one of probably the most like stressful drives I've ever had. Like, I kind of border on calling it traumatic because whenever I think about it, like, this is my favorite course in Utah, but I didn't want to put it on there because I didn't even want to think about it much because that drive, 2 hours each way essentially for us, up and down these like most winding roads. I have a video on it that shows a lot of that drive or parts of it. Go watch that video. Really cool course, like amazing course. I want to go back and play, but I need to rent a 4x4 and get down there because there's 2 courses on the property and I only got to play one because I didn't want to have to think about the drive more. I was like, hey, I played the course, I want to get out of here. And so we did, but I definitely want to go back and play that course again. But a part of me, like even thinking about that, I don't even want to have to make that drive in an ATV. Like, that scares the crap out of me. But let's move along from there. And that moves us into Grand Junction, home of Aaron Gossage. And my favorite course in Colorado that I was gonna say was gonna be this course, which was Watson Island, because I played with some cool people. It has like the clown mouth hole. I have this video on my channel as well. Pretty cool little course. We went through and played the course in Delta and Montrose, all the way down into Durango. And that's where we were for a little bit because my wife had a race there. She did some trail running. And then my favorite course in Colorado so far, because I haven't played a lot of like the really good mountain courses outside of Denver, is Sneak a Peek in Pagosa Springs, because this is the first time that I was ever like, oh, I'm actually like, I can be good at disc golf. Because I played this course blind. If we look at my rounds, I shot 7 down. And my stats here show that it's a 7,500 foot par 64 from the Pro Tees. And I was just like playing super good disc golf there. And that was also the first time that I ever threw a shot over like maybe 430 feet. It was kind of wind assisted, but like I got to that shot, I was like, that goes forever. And one of the things too is after Moab, I have filmed basically every single course that you're gonna see. I've filmed the video there. I don't know if they're ever gonna see the light of day. I have them all on my hard drive somewhere, just kind of stacked away. They're just a little bit harder to edit. Like, they're just not as good videos, but I think eventually they will come out. I'm just not exactly sure when, but what you're gonna see all the way through Michigan, I have videos filmed, which is a lot of videos. You'll be able to see that in a second. But after Pagosa Springs, I played the 3 courses that were in that area. We went up through Great Sand Dunes National Park and then into Pueblo. That was a really nice course as well. These courses in Colorado Springs, a couple courses in Castle Rock, and then I played all these courses in Denver and Boulder because we stayed there for about 6 weeks. The home of Eagle McMahon up here, Valmont Disc Golf Park, he has the record at 19 down, I believe. And then Coal Creek Disc Golf Courses, where you might have just seen Eagle and Simon play with their Discmania mystery boxes. But my favorite course in Denver, I think, is probably good. I really liked Adams Hollow. It's like not the most challenging, but it's one of those that's like, it's scoreable and kind of long and kind of challenging, but just like a fun course to be at, especially with some buddies. But there's just a lot of good courses, which is one of the reasons why I'm wanting to move there, because this is maybe like half the courses in Denver. And I played so many courses there. And so there's gonna be a lot that I'm gonna be able to play and create content for you guys if I do move to Denver and live there. Played the course up in Estes Park up here right outside the Rocky Mountains. And then we went all the way up into Wyoming, where we played the best course in Wyoming, quote unquote, in Laramie, at least according to UDisc. This was fun because it's not my favorite course in Wyoming, but it's one of the other times that I'm like, oh, I'm pretty good at disc golf. I can get good because I shot 12 down playing it blind with some people who were there. They were really nice. So if you guys are watching this, shout out to y'all. And then we went up to Casper because I wanted to play the course that was up there. And this is my favorite course in Wyoming, not Bull Snake Alley. That was a cool course as well. But the Casper main course, because this is another like long par 59, 7,200 feet that I shot pretty well. I shot what, 5 down, I think, 6 down. And it's like, okay, this is like, I can be good at disc golf again. So not that you will ever be traveling through Wyoming, but if you are and you're in Casper, I would definitely take the time to play that course. You need gaiters for that course though, like things on your feet. I've thrown out socks from a lot of the courses in Wyoming and Montana because of just how many foxtails I get. But then we went up here and played the courses that are outside of Grand Teton National Park as we visited. There's a course inside of Yellowstone National Park, which is kind of interesting. Not a really good course, but kind of novel that I was able to play a course that's inside of there. And then we went up through Big Sky, where this course is super mountainous. Don't play it by yourself or take breaks on every tee pad because you're just walking up a mountain throwing, walking up a mountain throwing, and then you get to another tee pad and you have to throw up a mountain again. It's just up and down a mountain the whole time for 21 holes. It's insane. Then we went up to Bozeman, where there's only one course, but I played it like a billion times. Had a lot of fun there. Met some cool people. And then in Billings, I did my Lone Star Challenge, which those are some videos that are up on the channel. And my favorite course in all of Montana is here in Billings. It's Diamond X Red and Blue at Phipps Park. This course is not an easy course by any stretch. I shot 7 down when I played there, which is really solid because that was like the culmination of my Lone Star series. I'm gonna link that video up here. Really good video. I'll definitely check it out. Like you play below a cliff, then you play up the cliffside over like 3 holes, and then you play on top of the cliff, and then the last hole is like you just throw down the cliff into the bottom of there. It's so pretty. That's a course that you have to play if you're in Billings. After Billings, we went down through Gillette, played this course, don't even remember much about it because we got there like right as daylight was ending, and so I was able to play it, but it wasn't great. And then South Dakota had like some surprisingly good disc golf. There are a couple really solid courses, and in Rapid City area, this like 1 hour radius that you're seeing on my screen here, Spearfish, Uta says is the best course in South Dakota, and I would have to agree. It's a really good course, but one that rivals it is Pageant Hill down here in Custer. That was one of my favorite courses that I played because it's very wooded, pretty technical, up into like this beautiful hill. If you're in that area, I would highly recommend playing that course. And one thing that holds a special place in my heart in Rapid City is Jackson Park, because this is the first time that I've ever like won a league. I showed up to a league, had played the day before, played at league, shot 10 down I think, which is the hot round of all of league. Didn't win anything though because it's a handicap league, but I also met some really cool people over there. You know, South Dakota, maybe not the best disc golf scene in the world, but pretty solid. Like it's serviceable for sure. And then we drove all the way across South Dakota after going to the Badlands here and made it over to Sioux Falls. Played this course in Mitchell, and then Sioux Falls has a couple courses. I wasn't able to play Big Sioux, but that's solid. I played Spencer as well as Tut Hill. I'd say Tut Hill is a pretty solid course as well. That's also where I got an ace. I forgot to talk about all the places I got an ace. I got an ace in Las Vegas at Mountain Crest. I got 2 aces in Arvada, which is in Denver. I got 4th ace was right here in Tut Hill Park. Sky God, 2nd ace with the Sky God right before I retired it. And I also didn't say that my first tournament win was in, I didn't even mark that course. The course where I won a tournament in Las Vegas, I didn't even mark that I played it. That's crazy that I didn't do that. So it's 154 courses apparently. But my first tournament win was in Las Vegas. Second one, I'll tell you about later. But after Sioux Falls, I was really excited because we were heading straight over to Minneapolis. And if you've seen Minneapolis at all, you'd say that this is an embarrassingly low amount of courses to have played. Here, let me just show you Minneapolis real fast, because up here, this place has amazing disc golf. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all those 18-hole courses. And if you sort them, look, I'm going to filter it for 4+ stars on UDisc. Look at how many are still there. So to go back to my profile and see that I only played 2, it's because I got sick on my way in. Really unfortunate. But I played 2 courses, which I think both make my top 10, which are Kaposia, right here, where I played leagues. I think I won leagues. And then I played a 1-round tournament that was sanctioned and shot a very bad score. I think I shot like 900 rated or something. But Kaposia, super beautiful park. And then the best course in Minnesota, in my opinion, which a lot of people would agree with, is Blue Ribbon Pines. Like, just, you have to play Blue Ribbon Pines if you're up in that area. I didn't get to play the Preserve, unfortunately, but we made our way up from there into the Superior area, and then we were gonna go all the way up here into Voyagers, and we actually did go up to Voyagers National Park, but there was not a really good place for us to stay. So on our way back down, I actually played this course, Judson Mine. Really cool course, did not play well there, but really beautiful course. And then we made our way back over to Superior/Duluth. And this is my favorite course in Wisconsin. I think it might be the only course I played in Wisconsin, but I really enjoyed playing it. It's called Superior Municipal Forest. Very, very difficult course. I think even is like 960, 970 rated, and so I was able to shoot 1 time, 1 down from the longs, but it's just like this course ate my lunge and ate some of my discs. So if anyone finds an orange Ricky Wysocki T-Bird 3 that has my number on it, please call me. I would like it back. Probably. I don't know. It's in the woods on hole 8, I believe. But after Wisconsin, we made our way over into Marquette for our anniversary, and we took a trip on our anniversary and then stayed a couple more days, and I was able to play a couple courses. Marquette is a pretty solid disc golf scene. This course is really cool, Old Town Disc Golf Course, because it plays through the ruins of an old town. Really cool. All these, like I said, I do have filmed. I just don't know if I'll ever get them up on the channel. Maybe a second channel. And then we made our way down into Traverse City, and then we just stayed there for like half a day and then moved along and went to Grand Rapids, where I played a couple courses down here. Really good disc golf shops in Grand Rapids. Played Garfield Park, Old Farm Park, and JC Park, but these are not the best courses in Michigan in my opinion. I didn't play Flip City. Please don't yell at me. But my favorite course in Michigan was where I played my first MA1 tournament, and it was these 3 courses. These 2 at the bottom here, no, they're not great. You don't need to play those courses. They're fun. But I think a course that has potential to be on the Pro Tour, or at least like on the Silver Series or something, is Lake Arvesta Farms. We played, that course is so beautiful. It's like 10,000 feet or something like that. Let me see, there's a couple different layouts. There's the short, the one, and the long. I played the long for my tournament, so it was like 9,000 feet, but the one is 11,000 foot par 72. So that might be on the tour one day. Really cool course. The starting hole, if you don't play from the short tees, if you play from the longs, is wild. And that is my first tournament vlogs on the channel, when my channel actually started to like very first pick up traction. So that's also got a special place in my heart as well. So definitely check out that course if you're in that area. I hope it gets some like love and some events. Then I made my way down into Indiana for another tournament that I played at Hidden Lake, and then into Illinois, and I played in Chicago. I was really hoping to make it all the way down to Peoria, but I didn't realize how far away it was, so I did not get to play Northwoods Black. Hoping too soon. But my favorite course in Chicago, I think, has to be, or in Illinois, the Canyons at Delwood. Like, it's kind of a cliche, but it's just it's a fun course. It's a good course. I didn't play any other ones that I'm like, this is incredible, but I did get my first MA1 win down here at Community Park in Channahon. I won the 35th annual Channahon Classic. A lot of great competitors there as well, but it was cool to just finally take down my first event and really put it all together. My wife then ran the Chicago Marathon, and then we made our way straight over into Cleveland, where I was able to play with one of my friends at what I think is my favorite course in Ohio, which is Portage Lakes. That course is really incredible from the longs. I definitely would want to go back and play it again, and I think there are definitely some other courses in the area, but that's really the only one I was able to play there before we made our way into Columbus, and I played a bunch of courses down there, which are also pretty solid. And then after Columbus, visiting my sister, we made our way over into Indianapolis. I played only 2 courses there, but one of my favorite courses that I've ever played is down here, which is Boylan Acres, not the arduous layout, which is also a really good course, but I played the extreme from the longs, and Steve Boylan, he's top 20 all-time in PDGA wins, is developing that. That's also a series on my channel, those 4 9s that I played there. The extreme layout is just really fun. It's challenging, but fair and a lot of fun, and it's cool to see the course being developed. So if you're in that area, I definitely recommend going and checking out that course in Indianapolis. Then we made our way down into Mammoth Cave, and just outside of there on our way, there's a course in Munfordville that I played a little 9-hole. Pretty cute. By default, that's my favorite course in Kentucky, because I've literally played nothing else in Kentucky except for that one 9-hole course. So Munfordville, you won. The only courses that I played in Tennessee were in Nashville, and I was just on my way into Atlanta for a couple Bonanza battles. But in Nashville, I think my favorite one has to be Seven Oaks. Just a really good course. Those Bonanza battles are on the channel already if you want to check them out. And then we made our way into Georgia, played a couple courses in Atlanta, and my favorite course in Georgia is probably between Little Mulberry Park and Westside Disc Golf Course. I didn't play a lot of other courses. Westside course I think has to take it for me because that's the only one that I played the full 18. I only played 9 holes at Little Mulberry, which kind of stinks, but it is what it is. After Atlanta, we made our way down into Tallahassee, where we got the unfortunate news that we couldn't go to Baja, Mexico, because that was initially our plan, but our van had a lot of extra van troubles, and we didn't need to get them fixed necessarily, but if we wanted to feel safe driving all the way over to San Diego and then another 21 hours both ways into Baja, we just didn't feel like we could do that. But I did get to play some disc golf courses there, Tom Brown Park being one of them. That's where they had the Tallahassee Open. That's probably my favorite course in Florida, but it's between that and some other ones that we're going to get to. But from there, we went right over to Pensacola, and this is where I had another tournament, and that was at University of Western Florida. I actually won that tournament as well. That was my highest rated tournament. I shot 994 for the tournament. I was super stoked on that. Met some awesome people and spent a lot of time in Pensacola. I love the Pensacola disc golf community. That's where I got to collab with Eric Oakley as well on the University of Western Florida course. In the running for one of my favorite courses in Florida is probably the Blackwater course up there, developed by Ryan Van. He owns Flight Factory. They sponsor Calvin Heimberg. That course is pretty cool, pretty challenging, relatively fair, but it's probably not my favorite. I think especially because if you just take the 45-minute drive from Pensacola into South Alabama, there are some really cool courses that were head to right now, because I played another tournament that I played 2 courses blind, played very badly at, but my favorite course in Alabama that I've played so far, I think is Pecan Hollow, which right down here is a relatively difficult course. I shot 1 down, and I think it was like 970 something rated, 980 something rated. Didn't play the best at that course, but it's just a very longish but fair course. I watched the video on Connor O'Reilly's channel where he was playing it with Eric Oakley, and Eric's like, yeah, if I'm training for the Pro Tour, this is the course that I'm going to. And I can see why, because it's got a lot of the challenges that you'll need. Played a couple courses down there in Foley, one at Fairhope, shot a lot of videos that you've probably seen in the last couple weeks there, and then went over into Mobile where I also shot some more videos, but unfortunately didn't get to play the Admiral Disc Golf Course. I did, however, play Cottage Hill. And at Cottage Hill, I was scoping it out for a video, just did a training round, terrible for a video. So I got out of the 18th hole, and a subscriber, shout out Gage, was like, hey, I know who you are, essentially. And then they're like, we're about to play doubles, do you want to play? And so I ended up playing doubles with them, got onto hole 12 or 13 or something, smacked an ace with the inner core, so my 5th ace, and then we won as well by like a stroke or 2. So that was pretty solid. That was like a $90 payday. And all this is kind of like, we kind of wanted to go to New Orleans because that was our plan last year. Before I even played disc golf, that's where we wanted to spend Christmas, but we ended up spending it in Florida in 2021. And so we're making our way over that way, and I played a couple courses in Mississippi on the way over. Played Hiller Park, Biloxi, and that course is all right. A lot of people said that was a really good course, and I think it is pretty good. I played the first couple from the longs and the rest of it from the shorts, and it's definitely fun. But to be honest with you, and this isn't like a better course, I had a lot more fun playing Brickyard Bayou Disc Golf Course, which is just a course in Gulfport. Not the best course, not the best tee pads, but kind of like some funky things going on with it that make it pretty endearing, and I was also able to play doubles there. Tied for the win and then lost the playoff and got 3rd, but that's just a fun course. I really enjoyed Brickyard Bayou, so if you're in that area, that's a fun course to go and hit up. And then we went to New Orleans, and a lot of you guys who play disc golf in New Orleans are going to yell at me again because I didn't play the best course in New Orleans, but I didn't really have time, and so I played these 2 courses. I think my favorite course in Louisiana then has to be City Park Disc Golf Course. I was going to play a tournament there, but I decided not to. I went back and caddied for my buddy Jaden in Pensacola, but I really enjoyed playing City Park, and I played pretty decently there, not amazing. But those are the only 2 that I played in Louisiana, and then we made our way back over into Florida, played in Pensacola, played the little 9-hole in Panama City, on our way over into Tallahassee again, and then after Tallahassee went over into Gainesville, just played these 2 little courses for videos that you've seen in the last week, and now we're in Orlando, where I've only played UCF so far. There's gonna be a couple courses that I play next week, but today's the 23rd, it's like 6:20 p.m. I'm gonna edit this video as well as a video that I just filmed earlier today. But let me real quick give you my top 10 disc golf courses as someone who's played 154 courses, I think, now that we realized that I didn't include one, in the first year of disc golf across 22 different states. That's a lot, dude. Holy crap. First is gonna have to be Blue Ribbon Pines in Minnesota. Second, Boylan Extreme in Indianapolis. Third, probably Lake Arvesta Farm. Fourth, I think has to be Diamond X, which is that course in Montana. And there's a second course on that property that I didn't get to play, which instead of being like red and blue is like orange or something like that. So that's a cool place. I definitely wanna go back and play that course. Fifth is gonna be Superior because that course whooped my butt. And I like when courses are able to do that because that forces me to learn. And so I wanna go back and play that one and whoop its butt. Sixth is gonna be Pecan Hollow in Alabama. Seventh, I think, kind of is surprising. It's Thorpe Park, which is the one in Flagstaff. Not like necessarily the best course at any one thing, but it's a longer course. There's a lot of elevation. It's in a beautiful place. And when I think of like a course that I have really fond memories at, Thorpe Park is one of them. I also like really good community up there in Flagstaff. So 8th is gonna be Sneak a Peek, which is the course in Pagosa Springs that I really like played really well at. 9th, I think is Kaposia, the other course in Minneapolis. I'm sure that there's so many good courses in Minneapolis, but Kaposia was a lot of fun as well. And then 10th has gotta be Base Camp. I know this is probably a little bit longer of a video depending on how much I can edit out of it. There was so much that I was able to do this year, and there's so much more that I'm gonna be able to do this next year. And I just wanna take this time to say a massive thank you on Christmas because I feel like the most lucky and blessed person that you guys continue to watch my videos and support me. And of course, I try to make them as good as possible. And I expect good things, but this support has just been mind-blowing. And it's definitely changed my life and my outlook on what I can do in disc golf and in the community. And I have a lot of crazy, awesome things planned for 2023 and beyond. I'm trying to think bigger than where disc golf is thinking right now because I think that to grow the sport, kind of you have to, and I'm hoping that you guys will stick along for that ride, and we'll continue to grow hopefully to 100,000 and beyond in 2023, and then kind of see how high we can ever go. But I appreciate you all. Lots of cool things coming. Hopefully you enjoyed this little bit more laid back video. Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully you enjoy it wherever you are. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy 25th of December. Okay, love you.